Hello, this is Wojciech Pietrzak again. As you can see from my rating, I am no longer as strong player as I used to be, so sorry about that, and I hope you'll stay with my channel nonetheless. This is an ITSL game against Felix Darvas, aka Clubhouse. I'm playing USA. And this hand isn't very promising, but I think I'll open in a quite standard way. I have socialist government, so no big worry about Italy, and I'll risk headlining Asia scoring and hope to score European domination. If he headlines Vietnam revolts, oh well. It's gonna be tough in Asia, but let's just hope he doesn't control Italy upon his first coup. Because if he does, I'll have to score Europe for -2 and hope to grab my points in Middle East. This hand is good. 2 scorings are always something to deal with. Yeah, some points behind at the very beginning. But this hand has 18 ops and no unplayable cards. Warsaw Pact formed, coupping Iran, and it was a successful coup, so I think I'll counter at start. Unlucky. I wouldn't like to hold Romanian abdication, because I'd like to trigger it before Independent Reds is played, but I think Independent Reds isn't going to be played soon, because this would have priority over what he actually played. So, Socialist waiting for blockade, NATO to be played soon in case of containment. Yuck. I don't think I can help being dominated in Middle East if he has a playable too. But as long as I can maintain European domination, this should be fine. And I should be able to maintain it, yep. Suez crisis could stop me. Now that Arab-Israeli war is gone, maybe I can take Israel. Does it make sense or not? I'd like to play Romanian abdication into Thailand anyway first, so maybe I'll hold socialist governments. Or just space it and hold duck and cover. Which is not a bad card to be held and triggered. It's an extra scoring card anyway. Okay, duck and cover no longer of such a value. The goal leads France, okay. And Marshall Plan. I don't think he's gonna play Marshall Plan for me. But let's just at least threaten. No, I'll need 3 anyway to get anything there in Saudi Arabia or in Israel, so let's save this 1 point here for Asia. Now duck and cover doesn't seem too good any longer as a headline, because it just justifies his very probable headlining of the goal. So maybe I should secure it to the full extent. I can secure everything, but at least DEFCON 3. This is much worse hand, and I feel I should defect him, because if he purges me now, it's completely out of anything. So let it go. Comicon is playable. Special Relationship is obviously playable as mine card. D cards are unplayable, so one spaced, one held. Probably socialist governments to be played and self-repaired then. Vietnam Revolt's playable as the last action round. Cambridge 5 probably earlier. Thailand has to be secured in this case. Yuck. But at least Truman is not gone from the deck, as he might have supposed and counted on. And this, of course, adds some fuel to the fire, although he didn't coup very well, so at least I can repair it to some extent. Yeah, Middle East scoring was rather something I should calculate. I want to take South Korea, risky, but I should, and then Angola, but in this case I have to go to Zaire. I also have to have an extra point in Thailand, and my only source of points are Vietnam Revolts and Cambridge 5, because Deco goes to space. Socialist governments go to self-repair. Of course, if I lose Korean War, I'm a little crippled. But I just can't stop all the bad things that may happen to me. I think he has a war. Okay, space time. A successful space race is something I'm happy to see. Null playtime. I just wait for the things to happen. This is why I'm delaying constructive actions. Besides, Vietnam revolts should be played last. Cambridge 5 doesn't matter. Let's just boost France. But I don't think I need to boost it that strongly. Of course, sooner or later I will have to. Korean War influence. Cambridge 5. And I think I can afford Vietnam revolts to secure Panama access with Colombia and to go to Saharan states, not risking much, or maybe to Sudan. Indo-Paki, yep. Oh, this is how you want to stop my domination in Europe in case of Marshall Plan. Can't really be helped. Okay, mid-war regions look good. Oh, and I got the purge and blockade. With socialist governments, UN intervention will probably be played for op. Distal space, blockade with socialist governments, or with Fidel on the last action round when he probably plays containment for me. Let's start from purging him. Denying him taking France now. At least. Another thing I could do is UN intervening distal and waiting for containment space blockade. But this is risky because in this case I have to leave blockade as my last card until my AR5, and he may just not play containment for the event. Anyway, I'm playing the entire hand. And I'm either activating Fiddle for him or resigning from AR6, or I could play socialist governments for a null play and blockade distal or and space Fido. Problem is my hand isn't rich. And I have to do multiple things at once. And I think France should go first, although he has Suez. Formosan for a coup, and it was a high coup, which has to be responded. With the best card I have to offer, but I'm failing this very important coup. Woohoo! My hand may be poorer than his, even despite red score purge, because now fiddle to space, socialist governments for self-repairing, and the last play UN intervention for perhaps 2 ops. Oh, and he had the scoring in his favor. This space race failed with a 6. Which would be a game changer in South America. As I said, self-repairing. Europe is now my ray of sunshine. I have to stop going to walking to Colombia. It so often drawbacks. Now I expect containment. In Brazil. I didn't expect it here. I think I should take this risk anyway. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Now what? Now what? I'd like to wait with brush war. But if I decide to do so, nuclear subs is actually the best card I could play. Against long gunman it might be not the worst choice. OPEC for space race, Korean War to be delayed or held. Warsaw Pact formed to be delayed because it changes European outcome. Brush War. Depending on coups. U2 incident may be played at any time because UN intervention is in the deck. Usur River Skirmish, I think I'll eventually play it for ops. Summit will probably have its time somewhere. The minimum I should do in this turn is... I think I should stop him here. With a 6, which is nice. Of course he has a counter coup now, but he has it only once. He stopped my European domination, so Warsaw Pact is playable now. Influence. Yeah, Cameroon was a nice choice, but I don't like Venezuela as a choice because it starts being a juicy target for brush war. And I started rolling very, very well. Of course, he still has one counter roll. Which he uses now. Which is subject to counter with Summit. And this time I fail with my roll. I may be realigned from Zaire, and in this case my decision to push Africa so hard is going to backfire. Because then I'll have to coup again. Influence. Oh no, this is a great target for cooing. So scoring, then brush war against Venezuela. And if successful, I may even play OPEC. Like breaking Egypt and going to Uruguay, for example. Another thing to do would be to coup Angola with brush war. To coup because brush war succeeds at 3 or more, while it's enough to score 2 for me. Yep. To control Angola, and I would try to control Africa, but this is not an issue any longer. I think he should have targeted Sudan. Yep. I don't think I could do anything about this one. So now let's hope for this 50-50. Yes, this was a very important one. Southeast Asia, Asia and Americas are left. I need Uruguay in case of successful Brazil coup. Okay, so nuclear subs paid for themselves. Missile envy has some risk with it. Other than that, yeah, let's try to bird trap him and then play missile envy upon his hopefully failure. Junta is strong, and okay, so missile envy not to be played. And grain sales dismissed. Okay, so I am sacrificing Libya and Egypt, but in a region which has been scored already. So let's just grab a domination here and increase the score here. I will probably want to trigger the event of our man in Tehran. But it's possible that I can't afford it. Willy Brandt is a one-up card. Simply Special Relationship is a two-up card. And I guess nothing more. Although I can wait for NATO. Maybe it's played. We'll bury you. So special relationship time. But let's go this way to secure access. Here. Let's keep our man in Tehran in the deck. I don't really have the cards I desperately want to discard. Maybe Che, but not worth it. None of the scorings. Although Central America needs some attention, probably, but it's the least important region in the map. Sometimes something has to be sacrificed. And I don't think I will hold missile envy, because I need meal ops. So our man in Tehran, 2 ops. Truman 1 op, Willy Brandt 1 op. I don't want to play Korean War. And I want to grab Southeast Asian countries. As of Milops, of course, Colombia is the most obvious target. But if he coups Uruguay successfully, I have to take Argentina first, and only then coup Colombia. So he has 1 action round to score South America without my domination. This is a tough game. My opponent has only quite a poor rating, and he plays accordingly. Although he has quite nice performances of this rating. Okay, so this is the most urgent thing to do this turn. Maybe if I put 1 in Germany for true. Actually, I don't have to show West Germany this turn. This can wait. The China card for the influence. But it's certainly not worth. Even if you have Cultural Revolution. I don't think it was worth. So yeah, maybe let's just coup Colombia with Truman. Space Korean War and just play Willy Brandt. Or just coup with Willy Brandt to secure mill-ups and then decide. Okay. Should have couped earlier, you say. Let's coup it anyway. Yeah, definitely should have couped earlier. Truman is now a good counter to a potential walking into Germany. But only for a while. I assume he doesn't have Allende. But this is something I appreciate actually. Let's space this. Failed. So now I think he takes Chile, and then if I had a good 2-op card, I would play to Argentina and Nicaragua. Maybe that's what I should do with Missile Envy. Come on, this is not a magic fetish. And I dominate 2 of the 3 non-scored yet regions. And I certainly should have Argentina secured. Okay, and this is a good hand, but with no obvious headline, except Cuban Missile Crisis, after which he should have some tough time. Because he's not present in Cuba, and I think he cannot easily, because Fidel is gone and Liberation Theology is gone. Yeah, I end, certainly. But other than that, what? I don't have problematic cards. Flower Power is not problematic. Brush War is gone. I play into Pakistani War before any harm is done with the Flower Power. Korean War gone. Arab-Israeli War not gone, but not a big deal. And Iran-Iraqi War not yet in game. Puppet governments can be used for any sort of things, mainly to Zaire, Turkey, and no, they are not any of the access gainers, because Afghanistan is not a good target. Although Afghanistan gives me access to Pakistan and I have the China card, so it actually may be a good target for puppet governments. And he has completely no way to get off the crisis. Oh, yuck. This was stinky. This requires immediate counter. However, I don't think I need Indonesia. So let's just go here to the region which hadn't been scored yet. If he grabs the China card, I'll have to take Thailand, secure Thailand with one more point. Delaying playing puppet governments, which I don't like, because the earlier I play them, the more value I gain from them. Puppet governments don't work too good as an access gainer anymore. I think I'm holding Quagmire. Actually, maybe let's go to Cuba instead of Saudi Arabia, because I may need this one more op to control here. It isn't said that he's going to allow me any sort of play this time, and he isn't going to react. But it's actually nice that he had to waste ABM treaty this way. So now let's cache this. Let's hope for a 6 in India, but at first place let's drop Indo-Pakistani war before flower power. And gain military operations. Failed, but I'm not even angry about it. So now it's time for playing into Germany. Maybe not Germany. Space in Canada. Failing. So Marshall Plan. I think securing Mexico is more important. So I have mill-ups. In Europe it's 7 versus 3, so I can't really hope to dominate Europe, although if I had controlled West Germany and Turkey and Canada, East European unrests could suddenly change things. Colonials, yep. But why on earth did you decide to be the first? Okay, 1. I think this is worth. I think I want to have this access, and yeah, that's it. What's the country count in Asia? It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it may actually be worth breaking Asia in the very last action round. And therefore it may be worth to focus on Asia here. I mean breaking Asian battleground. He doesn't seem to have Asia scoring. So he would rather drop it by this time. Okay. Now that Arab-Israeli war is gone for good, let's grab a battleground. And let's secure the most vulnerable battleground there is in Central America. I don't like taking Cuba before Fidel is gone or before Ortega is gone. But in this particular case, I feel it may be worth. So Usuri is gone but returning, Nixon is gone for good. Cultural Revolution wasn't seen by me. OAS founded. Let's be ready to realign Cuba. And let's be ready to meet Mrs. Thatcher. One, two, three, four, five, six, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. A very good starting point for Central America and Asia scoring. But he's seeing my headline, so no duck and cover certainly. John Paul or one small step? Let it be John Paul elected Pope. Duck and cover would be bad also because it would lower DEFCON, letting him secure Asia. His main source of ops is Middle East, may soon be Africa, and yeah, OPEC. Asia is volatile, but he has to decide. Either he coups, which still leaves Central America dominated by me, or he secures Asia. Of course, now Che is a very good headline. Fidel is even better, provided it's followed up by a successful coup. A successful brush war against Thailand or Korean War. Okay, Brezhnev is also a good choice. But now what? NATO. Influence. Where the hell did you put this influence? You left Asia unprotected and vulnerable to what I'm just gonna do. Yes, you can grab 3 from here by a successful coup, even 4, more, a 5. But still, repairing Poland on the spot was a mistake, I think. Okay, who am I to do things like this? Independent Reds plus Truman starts looking like a good combo. Oh no. This can't bring Central America where you want it to be. You're gonna lose the game right now. This was a very serious mistake. Thank you for watching and see you next time.